All right, what's going on, guys? Going to start going live at least once a week, kind of talk through some of the things that we got going on, as well as some of the things that we've done in the past, learning lessons, things of that nature, what's working. For those of you that do know who I am, I have REI Automation Squad and built a SaaS company around providing software CRMs for real estate investors. But the whole purpose behind that and why that all started was during my time in the Marine Corps, and before that, built custom houses. So went through kind of the period of figuring out what the heck I wanted to do and trying to still figure that out to an extent, but understand it a whole lot better now than I did back when all that started. So built custom houses for 5+ years, went to school for carpentry, construction, big lake houses. Most of them were 5,000 square foot. And I think the biggest one we ever did was close to 12 with an elevator. Did that stuff 5+ years, learned a whole lot, enough that, it's been able to allow me to do some of the custom work inside of our property after we purchased in 2020. But ultimately I decided that I didn't necessarily want to do that as a living. It was rough on the body, and made a decision to do something a little bit harder on the body and joined the Marine Corps for 2007. Did that for 7+ years. Actually, it was 7 years to the date. Got promoted to E6 the day that I was kind of walking out. So did 7 years, 2 deployments, 2 MOSs. Obviously learned a whole lot about systems, processes, and having the right people for the right seat, and kind of staying in your lane, understanding that you have a job and other people count on you to get certain things done. And from that, was able to kind of take and transition when I got out, used the GI Bill and got my MBA and master's, was able to start my business while I was still working full-time. So did contracts for the government for almost 3 years after I got out. Everything from working with a county transportation department, buying their vehicles out in California, to working on Northrop Grumman F-18 program. The office that we were at, they were literally making the F-18s right behind our office. So the assembly line was right behind us. It was pretty cool, be able to walk through that. It was one of the biggest stick-built buildings at that time. And then moved over to the VA and working for homeless veteran contracts. Ultimately, kind of working with and for the government has its own frustrations. Knew that I wanted to kind of be my own boss, and understood that the ability to negotiate contracts could allow me to do sales. And so I started doing marketing direct to sellers, direct to homeowners looking to buy properties that needed work, or people were maybe inheriting them, they were transferring jobs, had back due taxes, things of that nature, or just hadn't been updated in years. They were looking to maybe downsize. There were all kinds of different issues and problems that people dealt with that for whatever reason made sense that they didn't necessarily have either time to list it, or at that time didn't make sense to list it. They needed somebody that was willing to take it as it was. Did that for 5+ years. Part of that allowed me to provide a software to other real estate people that were trying to do that stuff. So I was a part of some private groups, private masterminds, built out our software that we were wanting to track our sales process. And what that looked like was sending out marketing. So sometimes that was pulling a list, skip tracing, getting phone numbers, making a ringless voicemail go out, make a text message go out, cold calling, and then direct mail or door knocking were some of the other avenues. And each one of those has kind of some expense or labor that goes with it. And obviously you either have the money to do that, or maybe you have more time, and then you've got to make the appropriate decisions on the marketing channels that make sense. And then when you're doing it, figure out which ones are providing revenue coming back in. So we tracked it, understood that certain marketing channels were providing maybe, $2 to $5 to $10 depending on it. And that's ebbs and flows. And to be very clear, that $10 return is very rare and happens usually for a season when maybe new technology comes out, and then there's some regulations that come along, and maybe not so much, a year or two down the road. With that, started having people asking questions about the software we were using for our business. And I built something out on a platform called Podio, owned by Citrix. Company is $1 billion company, it's a monster company. And we were able to then build a templated workspace or software and provide it as a SaaS product where they paid a monthly subscription and we would provide support. So it was built on Podio for real estate investors. They would make their marketing go out, calls would come in. They'd be able to then, put in an address. It would be able to pull a street view, map view, aerial view, and then some comparables. We'd pull back API calls, webhooks from third-party services, and some comparable sales would show up on a map. You'd have things like Zillow Sold, Realtor.com, Redfin, and all that would show up. So you had some different links to look at others that had sold in the area that were similar to that property. And then if you wanted to make an offer, it sends out a document, somebody can e-sign, they sign it, comes back, attaches, and then you start your disposition process, whether that's you fixing, reselling, or you taking it down as a rental, or wholesaling it to somebody else that's going to do the fix and flip or rental, etc. That product is something that we still provide today, built on top of Podio. Always told everyone that it's built on Podio, never tried to hide that. We're not trying to white label and claim that we're building something that is on our own system or SaaS product. That's been provided since 2015 and been really successful for us. Since then, and since the last, I'd say 12 months, I've been trying to kind of figure out what else I wanted to do and what other niches I wanted to be in. Real estate's great. It got me to the point of understanding what I like, and that's systems and softwares and SOPs and consulting a little bit on that for businesses and what that looks like. Now, there's other products, other services, other softwares that we've started using, such as Go High Level and Zapier and cold calling services and products like Twilio and G Suite and all kinds of other stuff that we know how to connect, integrate, and provide a operating system for businesses, small business, medium-sized business, and that's really what we specialize in. I have kind of a background from childhood of hot rods, streetcar rods. My dad ran a business around that. I own a couple hot rods, have different older cars, some newer stuff that's got power. I like that stuff. Now around that, I've always learned how to take care of my cars, so detailing, cleaning, things of that nature. Not necessarily something I'm going to do as a business, but I enjoy it, and I also have hired people to come out and do our vehicles at our property. So we provide a SaaS product for those that are in that detail mobile mechanic area on the go, looking to provide or need the ability to schedule appointments where they're going to show up on property, and then be able to send estimates and proposals to people, get the agreements, and then set appointments, schedule appointments. Once they've completed that and been able to mark that as, it's been won, they've got revenue that's come through the door, be able to mark that, track that, see their KPIs and understand, maybe they're doing Facebook ads or other different marketing and they're spending X amount. What does that look like on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis? And is it actually making money? So some of that is what we're providing at this point. Other avenues or other niches, because I have the background in construction, been doing the home services side. So maybe like your electricians, your drywallers, your HVAC people. Typically it's those that are licensed or specialties that set up times to be out at properties. And a lot of times right now, those types of services are very difficult to get in, and you do have to schedule times or appointments to get in. They've got, week or plus backups before they can get into you. So being able to, again, schedule times, set estimates, proposals, get documents signed, all that is something that we have built in. If you're tracking phone calls and text and emails, all that can come into the system, can be seen under the contact, and you're able to track stuff very easily. If you're running any type of websites, got website chats, things of that nature, we can assist there. All this stuff is built right in. And then, once you've provided your product or service, if you're looking for testimonials and reviews, got that reputation management availability. So can you send out a Google review? Can you respond to it? All that can be done right there. Additional niche is firearms. So being prior military, prior Marine Corps, Definitely like helping out the firearm sales and those guys that are trying to reach out, email their list and follow up with people, provide their maybe codes or specials and things of that nature. And we're still doing the real estate side. So we have high level built out for agents, insurance, and those that are doing the wholesaling side of the business. So any of those avenues, if that's something that is of interest, you can certainly reach out, comment. We can talk about what that might look like. If you head over to patriotbusinesssystems.com, there is a chat bubble or chat feature on the bottom right. Reach out, talk to us, as well as there's the 15-minute call scheduling link. Schedule a call, let's jump on a call, talk, and see if maybe the softwares that we have, the systems, operating systems, could be useful to your business. If you would like to talk shop, I've been scheduling 30-minute calls with those that have small businesses in the avenues and niches that I just talked about. Get on a 30-minute call, let's talk about what's working, what are your problems, and where are you trying to head over the next couple weeks, months, this year. And then if I got products or services, and not necessarily those that I'm selling, but literally how can I head you in the right direction of products and services that I've maybe used over the last decade and just help you out. At the end of the day, small business a lot of times is you're kind of stuck in your silo, you're worried about the daily operations and just kind of making things run. It's difficult sometimes to know about other platforms, softwares that you can integrate and make your life a whole lot easier with having something just automating potentially, or just being able to see things, have visuals, have dashboards, those types of things. So if that is of interest, reach out to us, patriotbusinesssystems.com. Again, I'm going to try to go live at least once a week. And then if you guys have comments, questions, or topics you want to cover, let us know. I'll probably be talking on some of the things that we're doing each and every week, some of the hurdles, some of the things that have gone right, some things to take into account. But that's kind of the plan right now. So let us know. Take care.